Hi Aries, it is wonderful to see you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. So we're going to look at May, and we're going to start with a 9-card Lenormand spread here. Now, I always read everything differently than other people. I just do it intuitively. The cards are more, I don't use them as much in the system as they were created, as I use them as just prompts and kind of signs for me about what's going on. So if there are other Lenormand readers in the comments or watching, that's just the way I read. Okay. Aries, you've got the dog as the center energy here. So your whole reading here is based on loyalty. We'll see if it's good or bad, but this is where you want to focus, is on somebody's loyalty to you, or your loyalty to someone or something. So then we have the sun coming up. Good energy, a lot of warmth, a lot of positivity, that feeling of being nurtured. And then we have the clover. Okay, so the clover, it's been a little bit of a tough road, but somebody has stayed really loyal to you. So the clover is, it's not a negative card, but it shows kind of where you've gone, 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step back. You're still more forward than you started, but sometimes there's things that have to be worked out. So in this combination, we're seeing, warmth, really positive energy from this person. Maybe it's been tough at times, but the loyalty is still there. They're not going anywhere. And then we have the heart coming up at the very top there. That's a lot of love, a lot of really, really good positive energy. So a love that is loyal. And masculine energy. Now, if you are watching this and you are a masculine person that is interested in women, this could just be a woman that has a more masculine energy. It could be like an alpha female, somebody that is kind of, it takes charge of situations. So it doesn't have to be specific to being a man, but it can be a masculine female. Okay, so yeah. So this masculine energy in there, very much in love with you. It does feel like this is more a romantic reading. Very much in love with you, can be a little overbearing, a little controlling, very loyal, but a little controlling, or a little hard-headed. And then we have down here the crossroads. So you possibly had to make a choice on if you were going to stay or go. Now, just because the loyalty is there from them doesn't mean that you haven't had a little bit of a tough go sometimes and haven't had to kind of come to some decisions, or that you won't have to come to a decision about it in the next month here. Okay, so we have the scythe coming up. Now the scythe is about kind of like repeated behaviors, things that hurt, pain, things that kind of cut you a little bit. Could also be a sharp tongue. And then mountain. Okay, so yeah. The mountain is very much, you know, obstacles and having to overcome some things together. Now, what we have here with this man in this, or the masculine energy, they're very warm, very wonderful energy, very loving, but they do tend to have a little bit of a harsh side to them. So they may have a temper. It might be a Leo. They may have a temper. They may sometimes react in a way where they can be hurtful. And that is something that needs to be worked on and may come up over the next month here. The man also is very loyal through obstacles. So the way this is laid out, you can count on them to be there. They're not going to abandon anything. They're not going to just, you know, run away when things get tough. They're going to be loyal through that tough situation, whatever that is that comes up. They're very loving, but can be very hard-headed or very controlling. Now, this bear energy is, you know, that kind of, they need to kind of take a leadership role sometimes when maybe they shouldn't. But this hard-headed energy is lining up with the clover, which basically talks about, you know, you've made progress in it and they have kind of gotten better at keeping themselves in check, but it's not linear, you know, it's kind of up and down, even though it is consistently seeming to get better overall. But it has been an obstacle for you. It has been something that's caused a lot of problems. And then what else do we have here? Yeah, we went over this, how like this sharp tongue, or this thing that they do that can be very hurtful, has kind of pushed you to a point where you will have to be making a choice over the next month. You may kind of, if you're not there now, you may get there where you're feeling like you need to decide if you're going to stay or if you're going to go, because of the obstacles that have come up in the relationship. So when we read Lenormand, they kind of all have multiple meanings depending on where they're lining up here, right? Now, we do see also that heart energy, the connection you guys have is solid. That doesn't mean you have to stay. It doesn't mean it's wise to stay, and it doesn't mean you have to go because of the issues that you've had on this bottom line. But it is saying that the love is genuine, you know? Or if this isn't a romantic reading and it is more career aligned or work aligned, you know, you're definitely appreciated. But I think that you're going to be coming to a decision about what path you want to take. The path might not be, are you going to stay or are you going to go? The path might be, which way are we going to focus in order to make this better? That'll, you know, be different for everyone. So we're going to pull up here also some tarot and see where this falls in. So the Page of Feathers reverse, some overthinking, maybe there's been some lies, some dishonesty. I feel an attempt to protect the situation rather than an attempt to be dishonest. It's kind of like little white lies that just don't need to be, they don't need to be happening, but they are. And then the Eight of Coins, willingness to build, willingness to work through things and create something. The coins are about stability and that earthy energy. It's a good energy to get, something like the 8 of coins. In any situation. And then the King of Coins. So there's some stuff that needs to be worked through for sure. A lot of this energy here, this hurtful energy that's kind of led you to have to make a decision about these obstacles, has to do probably with finances. Now that can be work related as well. Are you valued enough at work? Because it looks like maybe you're not, even though people love you. Are you getting what you deserve? And this is also relationship wise. Are you getting what you deserve? You know, even though you're loved and valued, is it enough for you? Because that king being reversed is showing that there's some lack in there that you're feeling. And then we have the 8 of Wands. So a lot of slow movement. It's either taken a long time to get here. It's going to be, you know, slow in moving forward, slow in changing and improving. Although it looks like it will. So yeah, I would really focus when you're making this decision over this next month here. When you're making decisions about your situation, focus on what the long-term goal is and where you want that to be. Don't focus on the individual, consistent, like, little feelings you have that can be solved, because they can be solved. Focus on the bigger things that really don't change and haven't changed and you need them to. And I would put that as the priority in making the decision on which way to take the relationship, on which way to, are you going to quit your job and find something else, or are you going to stay? Are you going to apply for a promotion, or are you not? Is this friendship okay? Is it going to last, or is it not? Really consider the big picture rather than little things. All those little things can feel like big things. They can eventually feel like really big things that feel bad. But if you can work on the little things, you can change the big picture, right? So what does that big picture look like for you? What do you want in the end? Do you want that friendship or that relationship or that job? Because that's what's most important. Everything else can be shifted and worked through and resolved, as long as you keep your head in the game and know exactly what it is that you want.